Hey, HR friends, welcome back. So we made it to day three. We're still in the 3-4 emotional 6.5 day sequence, and this third person drama, it's going to continue here. Okay. So there's been a lot of third person polarity moments, and what that means is these are the bigger pictures, people's philosophical beliefs they invest in. And for example, we talked about this in the last 24-hour section. In the United States, we are completely consumed over the presidential election and what should happen and whatever is going to go on in the future. And this is so predictable. Okay. So try not to get over invested in that or upset about that because, again, these are predicted moments of agitation at the third person level. It's designed to stress you out. And if you get stressed, the only thing that's going to happen is you're going to accelerate your aging. And that stress is going to ensure that future stages of disease are going to find you. So that's why this is so important. Now, I'm giving examples in the United States. There's tension going on all over the world in all kinds of different countries. Everybody's up in arms about what should happen because our nations are kind of falling apart here. Okay. There's a lot of controversy between who should be leading and how there should be leadership. And again, we're going to talk about this in objective so you understand how we got into this whole big mess in the first place. But the first thing you got to understand is this unseen pattern of chaos. This is literally taking advantage of our physiologic design. We are all designed with defensive mechanisms. We don't have peace and prosperity mechanisms. We have a fight or flight mechanism. So when these agitation points or these polarity moments start to poke and prod us from within, what we want to do is we either want to ignore, run away from our problems, or fight and argue about them. That is all counterproductive. And if you let these agitation moments or these polarity moments get you going in that direction, then all that happens is chaos starts to take over. And it's obvious chaos is working us right now. That's all we see when we look out into reality at the bigger side. We see all this chaos in our weather. We see all this chaos between people. And Health Reconnected is sharing this awareness because what we're trying to do is we're trying to get the advantage. That's what this technology and software is all about. It's showing you when there are going to be peak moments of agitation, both in the first person perspective as well as in the third person perspective. Now, in this 24-hour segment, you can see we are again at a four or well above a four in the combined. And at the third person, we're at a four or above the four. And in the first person, we reached a four. So again, high alert. And anytime you see where there's a gap between the bottom of the graph and the top of the graph, that is letting you know that there's either a capital E macro emotional frequency is in a polarity moment. That's going to mess with emotional rhythms. There's also small m or mental rhythms that are in polarity moments. And at this moment right here, we have a double M polarity moment. Now, unfortunately, in the past, when we have dual mental polarity moments, this is a lot of times when we have mass shootings or unfortunate social events where people are getting hurt. So this peak right here is something we really want to pay attention to. Now you see it drops down here, and what's actually happening is this gap now is being created by that dual polarity moment in the mental. So the second 12 hours here and into even day four, high alert for anybody that has mental instabilities, emotional instabilities. If you're somebody who's staying pretty cool, calm, and collected, but you know people that are struggling, you really need to step your game up here, not only to stay calm yourself, but to try to help those individuals stay calm as well. All right. So now we can see what's going on here. We always start out with the polarity moments because this unseen pattern of chaos is trying to stop you from doing this overall objective down here. Now, as always, at the 6.5 day sequence, we just briefly discuss objective for all new viewers so they get an idea of what this is. Super easy to understand. Space time reality is all about teamwork, and this is our team. Every single person is born into this team, and every single person has to deal with people in these four categories right here: sons, daughters, fathers, and mothers. Now, these are the team leaders. These are the people that have more maturity and they're supposed to be leading the team. These are the teammates. These are the ones that are trying to learn how to become team leaders. Now, a team is all about having a common focus. And there's two parts to this common focus. One is we got to stay cooperative, we got to stay calm, and we got to want to work together as a team, not to get upset, not to argue with one another. Now, the other part of this team is to achieve the other side of this objective. That's over here. So all of these teammates should be talking and asking about how can we work together to make sure that all our routines are balanced so that we're all spending equal times during the course of our day contributing to the national, the world, the individual, and the family perspective. Now, if our team comes together and we decide to cooperate and we decide to communicate and we all push each other and inspire each other by committing to our own routines to balance at these levels right here, then our world is going to start to calm down. This chaos that is consuming us, we are going to win. Now, what's been happening here is this: teammates have been over investing in these bottom two perspectives. And what that's done is it's created all kinds of imbalance in the larger picture. Now, what we need is we need leaders. We need people that are mature and want to lead and are willing to talk to people who are not putting in the time and effort to balance the world and the nation. You see, we cannot elect people to change the world if we're not going to change our routines and we're not going to change our contributions to how this world runs. That's how this works. Now, because we have so many people that are not acting as a team and are not focusing on our team mission, what's happening here is space-time reality is proportionally, it's all interconnected. So from the smallest level to the largest level, it's reflected in our overall individual choices. Those individual choices create collective experience. That is what's causing all of the chaos, not only in our weather, but in our societies. So we can actually, when we come together as a team, when we decide to balance as individuals and do our part to fulfill our obligation to this team, we will be able to minimize everything right now that is causing us all this extra stress at the larger levels. All right, so that's a pretty good explanation about what space time reality is all about. That's what gives us life. That's what gives us experiences, but it's our choice and our choice alone to decide to commit to the team and commit to the team objective. All right, so let's get down here and we're going to talk about the 24-hour period of time now. Okay, that's what was in this white box. This is zoomed in, and we zoom this in because we really want you to know where these electromagnetic peaks are. Okay, and what we've done here, we've done this for people that don't have good cell coverage or don't have internet all day long. We've created all 24 offsets for the time zones. And what that does is you come down here, you find your time zone offset. This will sit for 10 seconds. It gives you time to screenshot this on your phone or your computer, and that will align the times in your time zone so you will not be fooled at when polarity moments are going to happen. Because I promise you, if you pay attention to this, every single time that you have a reaction, every single time that you wanna argue with somebody, every single time that somebody gets under your skin and you feel like you have to do something about it, you're gonna find out these polarity moments have been tricking you. They have been manipulating you, they have been getting you off track, and you didn't even know it was happening. And I gotta admit, until we figured this math out, this was happening to me too. It's not like I knew this all my life. I've made so many mistakes, I can't even tell you, but now that we have this advantage, I encourage you, and if you have internet, the best way to do this, come to Health Reconnected's homepage. We've got a live feed, it's universal time, there is a time bar that goes right through this. And now, anytime someone around me gets agitated, the first thing I do is open my phone. And if I see there's a peak right there, I obviously know that I need to be very cautious in how I speak, to be very clear. And if the individual I'm with knows what I'm up to, I just show them and then we laugh and then we move on with the day. That's how important it is to know when those times are coming. All right, so this spot right here, when we get to the second 12 hours and we have this jump up here, I really hope we're not doing confirmation videos because unfortunate events are happening. But when we get dual mental polarity flips, that's usually when things kind of go sideways. And in addition, you can see that there's going to be first person agitation that's going to follow this. So again, we're really hoping that this doesn't happen and we're not doing a confirmation video on something not so fun, but these, we're getting real good at understanding how to predict them. Let's put it that way. All right, so the good news here is we don't have a ton of alignments, and the alignments we do have are in the second half of the day or the second 12 hours. So we're going to start at the bottom here and we're going to work our way up. And the first ones we're going to talk about are the EEEE on both sides here. So on the first person side, it's going to be testing lower left quadrant, and on the third person side, it's going to be testing upper left quadrant. So don't be surprised if you really feel your left side tighten up. as these two alignments are happening simultaneously. Now, if something happens and you feel something and it gets unfortunate for you, you really want to document exactly where you felt it, when you felt it, because our technology can be used to pinpoint exactly where you need to expand on either being better as a teammate or being better as a team leader, as well as what perspectives you need to spend a little bit more time on. That's how you're going to avoid having problems going forward in the future. All right, so let's keep moving here. The next one we're going to talk about is this ME. That's this one right here. This is also going to test upper quadrant. Now, remember, these green and yellow colors are maturing perspectives, and they demand that you're putting time and energy into leadership and also having national and world routines where you are contributing to either saving and conserving water, energy, recycling, all of those things, and encouraging others to do it. And those are just a few examples. We need many, many more things happening at the larger level, but I'm trying to put this into perspective for you. All right, so let's keep moving here. The last one we're going to talk about is this top one. This is the capital M, little e. That's this guy right here. It's going to affect the lower quadrants. All right, this is a year frequency. Capital M, little e is a 3.5 hour frequency. Expect more on the left. So you can tell there's a lot going to be happening on this left side, just looking at alignments. Now, there is some both on the lower quadrants and on the upper quadrants. Upper quadrants are going to give people problems. These are going to kick off sinus problems, headaches, all kinds of issues with the lungs or starting to feel run down. Now, we've been talking about this because there have been some strong frequencies, and that's actually where we're going now. So these strong frequencies, the M, the M, and the E, these have been sitting up here now for about 4.5 days. And that's going to start to really wear on people, bring their immune response down. So I'm not surprised that we're starting to see a lot of upper respiratory viruses starting to catch up with us again here. And that's what this is about. If you're out of balance with these frequencies, they run you down, they take your energy away. If you're in balance with these frequencies, they do the exact opposite. So you'd really, again, want to focus on how to become a better teammate, how to become a better leader within your team, and how to inspire your teammates by not just telling them what to do, but showing them that you're willing to balance your routine between family, individual, world, and national perspectives on a day to day basis. Now, when we get down here, we talk about the position of the strongest frequencies. And you can see that there's a stack up here on this left side. So there's 10 here, which means there's 7 on the left, there's 3 on the right. And the alignments up here are coming after the left side too. So expect more on the left than the right in this 24-hour sequence. Now, on the right side here, we do have some strong frequencies. This is a year frequency, and this is a 7.5 day frequency. So is it possible you're going to feel something on the right? Yeah, it's definitely possible, but left side's gonna be tested a whole lot more. And you can see the testing sequence here. So if a testing sequence gets above a 4, we get concerned. So upper left, that's a concern. The upper right, in the first 12 hours, it's close to 4, but then you see how it drops off. And it's the opposite in the lower left. In the first 12 hours, it's below 4, and then it comes up. So this is kind of giving you an idea of how pain is going to shift or how tightness is going to shift within your body if you're not balanced in the perspectives that are on either side of these quadrant guides. Now, the one that's probably the least down here is the right lower. You can see that it's only at about a 2, it jumps up to a 3 for most of this sequence. Now, even though it's pretty light, that's a strong frequency, so there is possibility down there. Left-sided stuff, specifically, left upper and left lower, if I was in practice, that's what I'd expect to see. All right, let's keep moving here. Last thing we're going to talk about is the electromagnetic guide for the summer season and the electromagnetic guide for the fall season. This is for new viewers as well. We've got all the electromagnetics posted. You don't have to wonder if you've got plans, if you've got to travel, you want to know when this is happening. If you're getting together with family and friends and you're doing it during these polarity moments here, very likely things are going to go sideways. Or if you're going to a concert and there are a bunch of people there. This is when unfortunate events happen because people aren't realizing that we're getting agitated from the inside out. And not everybody's balanced in their mental and emotional frequencies. When you see these huge peaks here where things start to reach the 8 level, that means there's polarity moments happening at the emotional and at the mental level. And that is when all this chaos is happening. So, super, super important. We share this information. You know when it is, even if you don't understand the numbers. It tells you the date it starts, it tells you the date it ends, and then we've got the dates as you go through here on the bottom. So you can see everything, and now you know. All right, that's enough for today. That was a little bit longer than I would have liked it. We'll see you in the next 24 hours, all right?